What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today we are going to take a look at the abilities, the gameplay of Valka. I actually managed to go far enough into the Pioneer test server story so that we now get to see a fight with her, get to see her abilities in action, and can get ourselves, well, a little bit of a better picture. We did the same for Faramore, the upcoming Wilder hero, and many people liked that video. It is a cool hero, so I thought, okay, let's go ahead, let's show Valka as well, because Valka is a bit more hyped even, I think, than Faramore. I didn't see too much hype around Faramore, to be honest. Valka was presented to us in the trailer. We saw some of her abilities. Warrior, Graveborn, A-tier hero, by the way. And what we saw was true damage on a Graveborn warrior, and that is promising. For many people see her as a bit more hyped even than Body, so definitely, I think, worth a look. So, starting off, there were some, let's say, rumors, because that sounds better, about the abilities of Valka, which means I can show you a little bit, a few things, explain a few things around her abilities. So starting off, the first thing you want to take a look at is her passive skill. She has a passive skill that basically gives her a shield once the battle starts for every hero that is in the 1-tile range around her, so basically in this range. And up to 3 heroes can provide her a buff, and she in turn buffs the attack speed of those allied heroes till the end of the battle. Have to say, from my testing, I don't see the attack speed buff. Don't know. We'll take a look at it in a second. For every hero that you place close to her, she gains a shield worth 30% of her own HP. That is the rumor. That is the rumor that people have assumably gotten from testing this specific fight. Let's say that. If the attack speed buff was in game, you would usually see it below the HP bar of Shakir. Right now, this is not the case from what I've seen. No attack speed buff right there. So, not sure if this works for the moment, but this is one of her abilities. Then it becomes a little bit more complicated. She has 2 very cool abilities. We are first going to go into the whole realm of like her active skill. So what you need to know first, and this is something that we can show in battle, maybe I switch away this artifact just to prevent any fancy things from happening. Her normal attacks provide a stack of panic. After she hit an enemy basically 4 times, that enemy falls into a state of despair, into a state of panic, and then she starts doing her major true damage. And that is what we just saw on that single enemy, doing big true damage. There is her animation. I activated them this time, forgot that on Faramore. Kind of annoying. And her ult will basically only activate on enemies that have those 4 stacks of panic. So is a requirement that has to be fulfilled first, but we can see some big damage right there. Some recovery, so that's working for her. And quick ults as well, so back-to-back ults. We are not on double speed right here, keep that in mind. That was not double speed, so if we put that on double speed, that is going to be a lot faster. Maybe we start that from the beginning. We don't want to lose this fight, otherwise we lose our testing opportunity right here. You know how it works. And the thing is, her ult then will deal true damage based on the enemy's HP and recover some HP for Valka. So this is very good, and this is also the reason she can survive in such a situation, because otherwise you would see her lose way more HP. We are not super ahead in terms of leveling here. There you see the true damage, big hits. Big hits compared to her normal damage, which is fist damage. We see the red numbers there, but still, I kind of like the normal attacks as well. And the reason for that is her second passive, which gives her like different sword abilities she can use depending on her battle state, on the enemies around her. She learns different sword attacks, which you can look very much so into once she's actually released. So that is pretty fancy. We have the cool animation right here, and on her, sadly, we don't get the Mythic Plus ability, which would be very cool. There are some of her sword attacks, the AoE stuff, we get to see the hits, and of course, look at that now, 10 million right there. My god, okay, that was really a big hit. Check this out, oh my god. I see big numbers, I see some nice recovery. It takes her a second. I think that could be a problem in PvP. I'm a bit afraid to let that go on, because this is a story fight and we are getting a little bit overrun. This will probably end at some point, so fortunately it just starts getting better. I think the enemies start to get a little bit beefier here. So that might be the reason why our damage is kind of insane. But look at that. We're getting attacked by 5 Hippo Fiends right there. And we're definitely keeping our own. And there we lost it. Oh, we lost it. We really lost it. Oh, that's also good. Okay. Chinese text. That is okay. So we recovered a ton of HP. We have been hit for a ton of damage as well, and we've done a ton of damage, so that really worked out for us. And yeah, the thing is, like, at least here the abilities are not unlocked, so this stops like at the basic abilities, despite her being Supreme Plus in this. Doesn't look like we got the Mythic Plus, and her Mythic Plus is the second interesting thing. She basically can block ultimate damage, it seems. That's what I heard. And then becomes immune to the damage. And we have to see how that looks. Blocking an ult is in general something that is fairly good. Being able to do that, yeah, like from the Mythic Plus, being able to block ults that try to hit you while being able to dash out true damage. And at the same time, also having debuff effects and a big shield and buff effects for your team. That sounds like a nice package. That sounds like a nice package. So that is the thing. And after blocking the ult damage, which is what I heard, she instantly casts this true damage stuff from her ult on the enemy. So that could be a little bit mental, apparently with very high life drain. So something maybe to look forward to. Maybe just for fun, let's try her and the twins together, just because we can. We have 2 heroes here, and 1 seems to be enough. So do they both count? They do both count, do they? Yeah, so maybe this is already like 2 heroes, so that would be pretty fancy. Let's try that out. Let's see how the twins together with Valka, if they can clear it. Of course, we have P4 twins that do no damage, apparently. Have a little bit of dodge there. Got a nice hit. We get some extra haste. Love the animation from the twins. Very, very cool. Got the first clear. Some quick hits and knockdown there also from Valka. Knockdown is pretty good. So definitely something you shouldn't underestimate. A quick knockdown on an enemy that can go a long way. Stops the smoky. Stops the enemy from really doing anything. Ooh. We don't really have too much AoE. We have AoE like with the sword attacks from her abilities. We don't really have it in the ult. The ult is really fairly single target. Fairly single target. But doesn't seem to be energy dependent. So like more of a condition that it depends on. Like once the enemy has like the panic stacks, bam, she casts it. Didn't see her really use any energy for that yet. And I think that is like a very important part for this. She uses the energy for the other hits, for the normal hits that are not part of her ult. I don't think we can clear it like this though. Maybe we need a bit of support. We have 1 more support hero that we could introduce to this. So maybe we go back and introduce this support hero now to our team. And he's already there. Is of course Lorsan. Lorsan is also there, so we have like a bunch of new heroes here at the moment. Lorsan, of course, in the game. Paragon 4 didn't show him yet. He's doing a ton of damage. Support hero. I don't know. Don't ask me. He's doing a ton of damage. Is a bit of a madness. I personally thought support heroes were mostly there to support. No. Mr. Hamster Destroyer, apparently, is here to deal out a ton of damage and some heals and AoE, wind, and it is a madness. I'm not sure if he's going to be like the greatest support ever for Wilder, but I mean, like, that looks fancy. That looks fancy, you have to agree. And it's also really good damage. We'll see that at the end. We'll see battle Lorsan versus Valka. Will certainly be interesting. But I have to say in general, like, Graveborn getting some pretty good heroes now. We got Bonnie, Valka doesn't seem too bad. So there's definitely some power coming to Graveborn right now. So that is pretty good. We won there, so we don't want to show the rest of this. Let's see the battle. Valka absolutely destroyed him. 897 million. Yeah, quite the difference. And at the same time, if you look at the footage, like, it seemed more likely that our P4 Lorsan dies rather than our Valka. And we didn't even have the Mythic Plus. So looking at that, yeah, that could be fairly interesting. That could be really interesting. A tier, Graveborn. we have some tough contenders there right now. We have Sylvina, Bonnie, and we will have Valka in the A tier Graveborn slot. That's going to be a heck of a strong A tier slot. So yeah, let me know your comments about Valka down below. Are you going to go into the rater for her? I mean, we are going to do all the raters, of course, on this channel and do some in-depth testing, so maybe subscribe if you're curious for that. Other than that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.